Alright, we should be recording now. So, what I want to do is go over here to Canvas, our home page, to start off with. I want to remind everyone that if you haven't already, you need to make sure you click on the attendance link. Every teacher should have this posted to their Canvas pages. We've had a lot of students that have done that and checked in each day, and that's great. But we've had some students who haven't been checking in on the attendance link, but still are showing up for class, for Skype meetings, and doing the work, and that's really creating a lot of headaches for the teachers and office staff to keep track of student activity, to figure out who's been here and who hasn't, so that we get accurate attendance records. So you can make it a lot easier for everyone just by making sure that you click the attendance link and you check in each day with your teachers in those classes. Okay. We are starting a new unit today. That unit is biology. Biology is the study of life and living things, and like I had said earlier as we were setting up the meeting, we don't have the time to go into as deep a detail as we normally would if we were in school on a regular basis. Instead, we are really narrowing this down, cutting this down to the most important need-to-know stuff for 7th grade biology as we can, and that's what we're going to be focusing on. So that being said, each week we'll have a topic or a lesson that we're going to focus on. We'll probably spend 2 days or 3 days of that week on that particular topic so that we can really hit it in detail, and the next week or the next topic we'll move on and we'll focus on that as a separate thing. You'll probably have one assignment that you'll have to complete and then a quiz that goes with each topic. So this week you'll expect to see a quiz towards the end of the week regarding the topic that we're going to be discussing starting here today in a moment, which is characteristics of life or characteristics of living things. Okay. So as always, I keep everything in modules. This whole week is a module. So we'll go ahead and click over to modules, and you can see here I've got the reminder that April 13th is our due date for this week's work. Everything that's assigned this week has to be completed on Canvas by noon on April 13th. We cannot accept any assignments after that date. So if you miss that deadline, it will be a permanent 0 and a missing grade in the grade book. So please make sure that you're keeping up with your work. Okay. The first thing that's here is a video of me, actually. I recorded a video yesterday of this lesson talking about the characteristics of living things. One thing that I did notice today in earlier meetings, and you guys might notice it as well, when you click on this link, YouTube does not want to connect to Canvas for some reason today. I don't know why. Doesn't make any sense. But to watch the video, all you got to do is click on the words here in the top title bar of the video screen, and it'll take you to YouTube, and it'll start playing the video. Everything's working there, as you can see on my screen. So you'll be able to watch that video. Now you see the video is 30 minutes long. It's a longer video. That's because it's a lesson. I'm actually teaching the entire lesson throughout the video, just like I would in class. So if you think about if we were sitting in class, a 30-minute lesson is actually one of the shorter lessons we probably would have if we were physically in school today. So you will need to watch that video and pay close attention to the things that I talk about. I actually recorded it here at home. I didn't go out anywhere in the public or anything. I didn't break the rules. But I recorded it here at home around my property, and I used the stuff that was here to really try to hit home on the ideas of the characteristics of living things. It's a half-hour long video for you to watch, but I can tell you, honestly, it takes about 3 hours of work and time to put a video like this together, and a lot of that is just editing and piecing together things and cutting out my goof ups and things that I misspeak and that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of work that goes into it. It's not perfect, but not a bad one from my first shot. At least that's what I think of it. So that's the first thing you'll need to do is watch that video. Then when you go back to Canvas, in addition to the video, I want you to read the Characteristics of Living Things PDF file. This is basically a textbook file. I want you to read it because it has vocabulary, it has the definitions there that you're going to need to understand. It goes through everything I talk about in the video. May go into a little more specific detail than what I do because I don't have access to some of this stuff that they talk about, like, you know, I don't have an access to a Venus flytrap or things like that, but you'll need to read through that as well. To go along with the video and the reading, there is a Word document that you'll need to download to your computer. These are your notes. I've kind of put it into a hopefully easier format for you to kind of follow along, because these are the things that you need to know from this lesson. I've got vocabulary words here. 4 main vocabulary words are listed here. You'll need to define each of those from the video and from your reading. The main ideas, the 2 main ideas here. The first one, it has to do with reproduction, the differences between the 2 types. The other one is describing the 6 characteristics, and I've discussed those in the video as well as you can read about it in the PDF file. And then the last thing is applying what you learned from the main ideas to a couple of thinking questions, okay? So you'll take the information from the lesson and put it into your brain and mull it over as you answer those questions and come up with some appropriate responses to those questions. Now, these notes will get turned into Canvas. You'll see a turn-in link here afterwards, but it doesn't open until tomorrow. And the reason why I didn't have it open until tomorrow is simple. When we have our Skype meeting tomorrow, if you join, we're going to be going over those notes to make sure you have exactly the right definitions or the right descriptions in your answers, because when it comes to the quiz this week, you are going to be able to use your notes, and that's unusual for anything we've done up to this point, because normally in class we don't allow notes for tests and quizzes because we spend so much time on topics in class that you're expected to study beforehand. We're in a unique situation now with distance learning. So that means we're going to make some changes to how we do things. And one of those things is I'm going to allow you to use notes for your quizzes. And that should be good news for a lot of you because it'll be helpful as you take those quizzes. And if you pay attention tomorrow during the Skype meeting and you get those notes exactly how they're supposed to be and then turn them in, then you'll have the correct notes that you're going to need for that quiz. And the quiz, honestly, will be super easy, and there's no reason why you shouldn't, ace it with that information at your disposal. So that's going to be a big advantage for you when it comes to the quiz later this week. All right. So today, just to recap, you've got a video to watch. You've got the PDF file to read. You need to complete the notes that go with both those things. Tomorrow, when we have our Skype meeting, we're going to go over those notes and discuss the characteristics of life in further detail together as a group. And then you'll be able to use those notes after you turn them in on the quiz that'll come later this week. So that's, in a nutshell, what we're going to get started with this new unit and the things that are available to you. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to our class meeting screen. I'm going to stop the recording and answer any questions that you might have.